Hello, sweet star. Welcome back to Moon Mirror Tarot. It's so wonderful to have you here. In today's reading, we are getting to hear from Mother Moon a very clear message about the information that we are ready to receive at this time regarding our soul's work. I am so excited to get to hear Mother Moon's messages for us today on what information are we ready to receive about our soul's work in this life. That is such a fun topic for me personally to think about, and I love that you clicked on this reading. Thank you so much for being here. I am recording this as we are about to enter Capricorn season in December of 2022. So if you are watching at this time, at the time of release, this information is specifically to help us make the most of this upcoming Capricorn season. At the same time, this is a timeless reading. So, really, whenever you're clicking on it, there is information in here that you are ready to receive regarding your soul's work. Congratulations on that. And without further ado, let's begin. We will pick out 4 piles, I do believe, and we will get to find out some more information, please, about our soul's work. Our soul's work. This one is definitely one. Please share with us what information are we ready to receive about our soul's work. So there are 4 piles. We will take more of those, but let's go ahead and look at what the 4 options are. And that way, if you want to skip to your reading in the timestamp, you'll be able to do that. So let's have a look-see. The first card is the Unseen. The second card is the Box. The third card is Apocolypsis. Oh, fascinating. Okay, and the fourth card is the Village. All right, so have a good look at these cards, the images, the colors. Feel what it is that your intuition is pulling you the most towards. If there are multiple piles that are calling to you, chances are there's information in each of those piles that you're ready to receive about your soul's work. So please listen to wherever your intuition is guiding you. If that's multiple piles, watch multiple. If it's all of them, take them all in. And there are timestamps down in the description box. You are welcome to jump to your reading now or hang out while I build these piles and see what all the cards are that are going to come together to deliver this message for us. So we will begin by taking 2 more. Oh my gosh. These are the ones. And this one actually will have 4 total. Okay. Thank you so much. That was so easy. All right, so we'll add the rest of the oracle cards. So what information are we ready to receive about our soul's work? What information are we ready to receive about our soul's work? Thank you. What information are we ready to receive at this time about our soul's work? Thank you. One more little pocket-sized oracle card to add. What information can you tell us about, oh my gosh, our soul's work. There we go. And now we'll add your tarot cards. What information? I love when they jump out like that. That makes it so easy. Information about our soul's work, please. What can you tell us at this time? Oh, hello. Okay. So we'll take 2 of each of these 3 tarot decks. What information do you want us to have about our soul's work at this time? Completely understanding that, you know, as humans, we're not meant to know it all at the same time. So I will happily take whatever is wanting to come through right now. What is the piece, the one piece for right now that we are ready to receive? All right. One more tarot deck, 2 cards from this. What information do you want to share about our soul's work at this time? What information? Oh, that feels right. There's an extra card in there. Oh, hello. Okay. Here are our piles. We shall get them all situated. So we have pile number 1, the unseen. Pile number 2, the box. Pile number 3, Apocolypsis. And pile number 4, the village. Feel free to jump to whichever reading is calling you first, and I will meet you there. Hi, pile number 1. So you have chosen the unseen. Very, very interesting card to come out in a reading like this around your soul's work. And the unseen, it's giving me a couple of different messages right off the bat, though I do want to see the full picture before we get too far into it, because I have a feeling there's a lot of clarification coming in the rest of these cards. So first we will look at the rest of your archetypes. So the next one is the Queen. That is even more interesting, adding on to the unseen. And last but not least, we have the desert. Okay, so that is a very, very interesting picture already of hidden forces behind the scenes, ruling from behind the scenes, possibly the loneliness that comes from not having your work seen or recognized, but knowing that it's important nonetheless, whether people see it or not. It's so important, and you treat it as such. I can see that you are handling it with a sense of, this is my work and I need to do this, even when the path takes you on a route where there aren't a lot of other people seeing or cheering for the successes that you're creating. There's an ability to kind of work in silence and build what you're here to build, whether people see it or not. Kudos to you, pile number 1. That feels so... There's so many words coming. Powerful, stable, centered, soul-driven. There feels like almost not necessarily a complete removal of the ego. We need our ego, right? To have a personality, to be an individual, we need an ego. But there is such a balance between your ego and your soul, as far as I see you as a person who is willing to do your soul's work, whether or not your ego gets any kind of bang for its buck on expending that effort. You're not doing it for the ego return, you're doing it for the soul level satisfaction of what it is that you're getting to do. Again, kudos, pile number one. Okay, let's have a look at this first card. So, transits with climate, we also have 55, two fives. 5 is the number of change. And transits are all about change. It's a constantly shifting, moving, fluid picture of energy. The transits, that's what that gives us as far as how the energetic conversation, how the energetic soup is consistently and continuously evolving and shifting, and that part of your soul's work has to do with those cycles of the transit planets moving around, and how the unfolding of those cycles brings about natural parts of that process. Like, for the example that I'm seeing in my head, it's like, in order to build something new, sometimes you have to tear down the old. And so, part of the transits and the climate, there are parts and pieces of the process that are destructive so that new construction can take place. And I'm seeing that both the coming apart and the rebuilding are both part of this soul's work picture that's being presented here. Ooh, I love this. Your life is a canvas with artist, manifestation, and creative accountability. That is beautiful. Your life is a canvas. And that also feels like, again, kind of coming back to these center cards and the constantly shifting climate, the choices that we make, every single choice that we make, every single moment where we choose how to spend our time in that moment, every single choice is making a brushstroke on the canvas that is our life. And I see you here again, frequently, very, very frequently, choosing to take the path of what your soul is calling for, regardless of how much ego fulfillment is coming out of that work, because the soul level fulfillment is more than filling you up. Ooh, you have octopus. How interesting. To add on to kind of this entire picture, the octopus has so many different arms. The octopus is also a water creature. It's also nocturnal. So that means that the octopus is extremely skilled, can do a lot of different things at the same time with all of its different arms. It comes out at nighttime, which is the time when most creatures are sleeping. So when most creatures are resting, that's when the octopus is doing its most important work. It's, usually hunting, trying to eat something, trying to feed itself. And so I'm just getting the sense here again of the unseen operating in darkness, doing lots of different things. There's lots of different pieces. I feel like that fits really well with the transit piece. There's so many different planets and luminaries and asteroids and all of the different pieces that are playing their part, and this octopus energy of you being able to handle a lot of different pieces as they all play their part. Let's add your tarot cards, and then we'll have our full picture, and we can kind of take it one step at a time to see what else information wants to come through right now about your soul's work. Ooh, first we have the Ace of Cups, and it even has an octopus arm around it holding the cup up. That's so cool. I love that synchronicity. Yeah, you are very capable at like multitasking, is what is coming through here, as far as like just you're able to juggle a lot of moving parts and pieces, and I'm hearing that like people don't even know, they can't even see because of the darkness, the way that you operate kind of in silence behind the scenes. People have no clue what you're doing, they have no clue what you're capable of, but you do. You know who you are, and you know what you're doing, and you know what you're juggling, you know what you're, the effort that you're putting into what it is that you're creating. And I love how this is like creative accountability. That doesn't have to come from anybody except for yourself. So just because others may think that you're not doing anything because they can't see it, they don't know. They just don't know. They don't have vision into your experience like you do. And so when it comes to that creative accountability and listening for, am I doing it right? Am I doing enough? Am I doing what I should be doing right now? Right? First of all, I would like to throw out there that I believe that we don't ever get it wrong, right? Source loves us unconditionally, so there is really no such thing as messing it up. But I totally get where you're coming from, and in those moments when we are wondering, am I doing it right? The only one who can ever really answer that question is ourselves. Is that feeling between us and us of, are we in alignment or are we not? And somebody else's opinion of what it is that we're doing can never be accurate as far as what it is that we're truly doing. They have a limited view, we have full view, as much as is humanly possible. So, as far as the human that we should be listening to, it's ourselves. And with the Ace of Cups coming in and adding to that octopus energy with its little tendril, something, holding that cup up, it's like one of the pieces that you're juggling, one of the energies that's there is the energy of your own heart, the energy of your own intuition. And so I do see that it is already very strong. It's already guiding you with the wisdom of your expanded self. And if anything, I'm just here to echo, continue listening to that, because the more you get into this path of your soul's work, the more you're doing and the more you're down the path of doing it, the more that's unfolded along the way. People don't see. They can't see. You're in darkness doing this, and so the more you do, the less they're going to get it. And I again, my heart goes out to you because I get it. I see your energy. Mother Moon sees your energy. Source energy sees your energy, and you are beautiful. You are killing it. As far as, well, I should say, you're enlivening it. You're bringing something new to life on this planet that has not been there before and would not be here if it wasn't for you. There's a new beginning of something flowing through your heart for the greater good of the all. And on behalf of every single person in your world who may not be able to see the beauty and magnificence of what it is that you are creating, let me be the one to say thank you on behalf of all of us for everything that you're putting into this. Oh my, we have the Tower. I love this particular Tower card. Yeah. Things, again, I feel like there are stages and cycles, and sometimes things have to come apart for new things to come together. And there is so much work that you are doing to support both sides of that. That, like, through your soul's work, you are encouraging the breaking apart of the status quo. Thank you once again for that. And you're giving birth to the new soul aligned version that is going to take the place of whatever structure it is that's crumbling, because you understand that the only things that crumble weren't sustainable in the first place. So the fact that it's crumbling is a good sign. That means that that old weak structure is getting out of the way so that something new can be born into existence. We have the Knight of Cups. That is so interesting because, like, what I'm seeing here with the unseen and the working in darkness and like, people can't see what you're doing, but if they could, they would love it. If they could understand, they would love it. Energetically, on a soul level, they do love it, right? Like at a soul level, we are all interconnected. We are all of the same source. And so, on a soul level, every person you've ever met is so grateful that you are here doing your work. However, in this lifetime, I see like this Knight of Cups in conjunction with the Ace of Cups. It's like in this lifetime, you're here to figure out how to give this like romantic adoration of who you are, the beauty that you are. You're here to learn how to give it to yourself. You're here to reflect that love to yourself and to see yourself. And every time you feel unseen or unheard, that is an invitation into the next level of giving that to yourself, of seeing yourself and hearing yourself so well that you are so full and so fully stable within that recognition that you've given to yourself that you don't even notice that other people can't see. They'll see. They'll see in the time that they're meant to see. But right now, you get to be in this work and you get to know the importance of it. And a single other soul knowing that is not required for you to really have your way with what this creation is. Pile number one, I would love to hear from you in the comments as far as like what it is that you're creating. I feel like this space on this page and on this channel, even just in the comments of this one reading, can be a space where if you want to, if it feels good, you can peek yourself out and you can show a little bit of that energy, because here on this channel, Moon Mirror Tarot, that's what we're looking at, is your energy. I'm not concerned as much with your human form as your soul. And on a soul to soul level, I see you. I see the importance, the important work that you're here to do, the important infrastructure that you are building, just even within yourself, just even figuring out how to love yourself even when the others aren't willing. That is such important work. And again, on behalf of everyone you've ever met, thank you for doing it. Oh, beautiful. The Queen of Cups. So we have the Queen of Cups in conjunction with the Tower. Again, I feel like you can feel the truth of things, and that is such a huge part of your soul's work, is your intuitive sense of what you can feel. And especially here in conjunction with the Tower, it's like, again, going back to only things that are unsustainable crumble. So when you feel that something is out of alignment, when your intuition is saying, I think that's something we should push back on, when your intuition is guiding you to speak up for yourself and to stand up for what it is that you believe to be true, listen to that, because the things that are crumbling, even though in the short term it might look like that is destructive, it's actually more like a process of regeneration, like a scorpionic kind of energy, where in order for the phoenix to rise from the ashes, it first has to get lit on fire and burned to the ground, the tower. We got to burn down the old before the new can be born. And your intuition shows you the old that's ready to go, the old that's ready to be dismantled. And not everybody is ready to hear that. And that is possibly why you have chosen in this life to work in secret, to work in private, and to accomplish your soul's work without making a whole lot of waves, like off your experience directly. But you are very much guiding this process of regeneration, kind of with this invisible force, just simply through your presence. It's truly beautiful energy, what you've got going on here. We have the Knight of Swords. Very interesting, right next to your Knight of Cups. So we have two knights. You're very brave. You're very courageous. I'm seeing like the unseen, like it's reminding me of not to get into any kind of debate or anything over like Christopher Columbus, but like an explorer type energy of there there was no one, or he thought there was no one going to be out there in the rest of the world when he set sail looking for a new world. And that's very much the energy that I'm seeing here. It's like you don't need anybody to see you in order for you to charge out bravely and courageously towards searching for the new world that you came here to help create. It is truly very impressive, very, like, I have so much respect for how hard you work and how hard you try and how much you're investing into this, considering that, like, you're not getting any recognition for it. Like, it truly is, like, admirable, like almost like saintly. Like you're doing this work out of the goodness of your heart, not because you have anybody like really repaying you for it. And what I'm hearing is that the repayment is coming either in this lifetime or the next, but it is absolutely coming. And this work, this almost invisibility cloak that you have over your experience, is ultimately one of safety and protection because your work is so important that it is honestly better to have it be cloaked in invisibility than for everyone to see it and the potential risks or threats that that could introduce to your mission. So, working under the cloak of darkness, working where other people can't really see the magnificence of what it is that you're doing, there is ultimately, yes, possibly a sacrifice in that, but it's like a bird with clipped wings. Like, you know, if we came into this life as a bird with wings that don't work, or, we came here with energy that can't really be seen by others, that was a divine choice that we made before we came. And it's because that was the energy that we needed to make our mission as successful as it possibly could be. So, this choice to keep this invisibility cloak over your soul's work is such an admirable one. It's like seriously, like so enlightened, such an advanced, masterful soul that says, like, I don't really need the earthly rewards in order to know that I'm doing a good job. And last but not least, we have the Wheel of Fortune next to the Queen of Cups and the Tower. I am feeling that, yeah, there's possibly a lot that is going to be repaid in this lifetime. And that the more you lean into your intuition and the more that you stand firm in the truth that you know to be true, not what other people can see, not what other people can agree with, not what they can understand, but what you understand, what you can feel to be true, what you feel being born through your soul, through your physical vessel. Something is coming through you that other people may or may not understand. And sometimes it can feel like a desert, like you look around you and as far as the eye can see, there's no one who gets it. And in that moment, pile number one, I hope you'll remember me because I do get it and you are not alone. We are all souls in physical form here doing the work that we came here to do. And if ever you need somebody to get it, reach out in the comments below. I would love to chat with you. I would love to get to know you a little bit more about what is this very, very important work that was so important it had to be hidden. And also the other piece that's coming to me through this like energy, it's reminding me of the books by Dolores Cannon, Conversations with Nostradamus. I believe there are 3 volumes in that series where she put someone under hypnosis who connected outside of linear time. Dolores Cannon has a lot of quantum physics type concepts in her work. I highly recommend it if you haven't checked it out before. Because Nostradamus's energy, this is very much how his energy worked, where in his time period while he was alive several hundred years ago, he worked in silence. He worked in invisibility to the people of his modern time because his work was so important for the future of humanity that it was more important that people didn't see to protect the safety of what he created so that what he created could make it to the 1980s when Dolores Cannon is sending someone out into the ethers to connect with Nostradamus. And together they completed a translation of the thousands of quatrains, little mini poems that he had written in like a very metaphorical kind of style, where at the time people looked at it and were like, that's mumbo jumbo, that's gibberish, like don't even worry about it, we don't need to burn it because it doesn't make any sense. So it's not, it's not offensive, it doesn't even make sense. And as they translated them together, they found that those mini poems, those quatrains, were predicting the future. And if that had been known at the time, it would have been rejected to the point of being obliterated from existence. It was so far ahead of its time that it had to be cloaked in invisibility during its own time so that it could even survive to the time when it was going to be needed. The sacrifice that Nostradamus made to work with that invisibility, it truly did guide the spiritual evolution of the people who lived hundreds of years later. So, hundreds of years later, the souls that had come in physical form used his work as a jumping off point to do their work. It's like throwing, I'm not a football fan, but like throwing a football and making a pass through time. It's like that's what you're giving birth to, is something that it has to survive, and that's why it's hidden. It's that important. And at some point, the tides will turn and the entire world will see the importance of what you've built. But I'm very much seeing that that could be in your lifetime, but most likely you're creating something that is so advanced that it's not going to be ready to be absorbed into the collective possibly until after you're gone. And as a soul, you understood that when you came, that the importance of your work was the dominant factor, and that recognition on an ego level was never the reason that you were doing it in the first place. Pile number one, you are such a cool soul, and I am seriously so grateful and just blessed that you even clicked on this reading and are watching this right now. Thank you so much. This has been your reading. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. I would love to, leave me an octopus. I would love to get to know you, as far as being able to give you at least the connection of there is another human in this world who can see, maybe not exactly what you're creating, but can see the energy with which you're doing it, the heart with which you're creating your soul's work. It is truly impressive. I have so much respect for you, pile number one. Thank you so much. And if your intuition is guiding you into another of the piles, please check that out now. And otherwise, I will catch you on the next reading. Okay, bye. Hi, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the box, and right off the bat, I am getting just a flood of information that I do want to see the whole picture before we get a ton into this message, but I have to tell you that your character is so strong. Like, what I'm feeling is your resilience and the strength of your character, being able to stick with what you know, no matter what, stick with your soul's work, your whatever truth it is that you're committing to in that time, sticking with that and persevering past layer after layer after layer after layer after layer. It's like never ending layers of challenge and resistance and opposition and things that would beat down your average person. The strength and fortitude that you brought with you so that you could see through all of these different layers one at a time, again and again and again and again, your light continues to shine. And the strength that that takes is something that is so obvious to me right off the bat. So definitely kudos to you, pile number 2. I would love for you to leave like a flexing your muscles emoji down in the comments because yeah, you guys definitely got it going on. Okay, so let's do add the rest of the cards though and see what else we get. Oh boy. The Siren. Oh, yeah, that's adding some really fun things to this first card. And we have the Pilgrim. Okay. Yeah, you're definitely somebody that's here to do something that has never been seen before. And at first, people do not they don't see how you are. They don't understand. But that being said, they are ready. Even though it may feel like the challenges and the layers are never ending, they are absolutely ready. And that you are here to sing a siren song that calls people to a new place that they have never been before. You are here with a message. You are here to deliver a magic into every single person that you ever meet. Your aura, your essence transfers energy to them that impacts them on a cellular level. How cool is that? Pile number 2. Great job. The Pilgrim, also adding to this, the Pilgrim is a lot like the Explorer kind of archetype where you're willing to go places that other people haven't been. You're willing to be one of the first settlers in a new place. And that new place I just heard is the New Earth. So I see you very much as a person who has figured out how to overcome a lot of layers of adversity. And because of that, because of your strength and your resilience, you're also someone who can inspire other people to kind of rise in a very similar way to what you've had to do because that was the path that you signed up for. You brought all your strength and you said, bring it on. I can do this. And you are. You are one of the most resilient people, one of the most resilient energies I've ever felt. And I wonder if you know that. I think for some of you, you definitely noticed that already, that you are one of the strongest, most resilient characters that you know. Like you've probably, for a lot of you, this is a general reading, some of you maybe haven't realized this yet, but for a lot of you, you have already like kind of picked up on that. Like, why do other people get knocked down and then stay down? Why do they not just get back up like I do, you know? Like it comes so naturally to you. And that's that strength that you brought with you because you knew that you were signing up for a challenging path and that didn't scare you. It didn't scare you. You just brought more reinforcements strength-wise and you came on down, do your mission. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, so progressions with journey. I love that, especially with this idea of all of these layers. There are so many layers that it feels like, didn't I get to the top of the mountain already? I've been climbing a long time. I overcame this and this and this and this. Aren't I done yet? No, no, you're not. And your soul is thrilled by that fact. Your soul could not be happier with how things have gone so far, the way that you have demonstrated your own strength to yourself so far. And like we said, like what your presence does to other people. Like you even just existing and coming into contact with someone without saying a word, there's an energetic transfer that takes place where on a soul level, you're communicating about the journey that you've lived, about how far you've come. And there's almost like I'm hearing like a energetic encouragement that happens to other people when you come around them, where they receive some level of self-soothing by energetically receiving how long and challenging your journey has been. They are comforted and encouraged within their own journey. Let us see this one. Lost lands, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. Ah, that makes so much sense as far as where all of this strength and resilience and strong character is coming from. You've played this role before. You have, I'm seeing like, yeah, these lost lands, these lost worlds that used to be there, and all of the experience that you lived in those past lives, in those other places, and how every single tool that you would need along this soul mission is in your toolbox. Like, I don't know if you've noticed that either. I think, again, some of you already have, that you just are so well equipped. No matter what comes up, no matter what the layer that you're currently on is presenting to you, the challenge that shows itself to you, you're like, hold please, I have the perfect tool for that. Oh, I haven't got to use this tool in a while. Oh, here, let me fix it. And you're nothing but upbeat about moving through the challenges and the obstacles that continue to present themselves. And again, the energetic influence that you are able to put out into the world that other people are impacted by is giving them strength to also do their own work to move through the layers and the levels of what life is giving them, the lessons that they ultimately wanted to come here to learn. Ooh, so you got one of the spirit cards with the sea serpent. And I'm feeling that over here by this lost lands. And you've done this before. There's a continuity in your soul's work that says this is the role you play. On a soul level, you are here to be the strong one. You're here to demonstrate what strength actually looks like. And I'm also feeling that you do this in a very feminine way, like a very soft, gentle presentation of what true strength really is. And I know you know that it has nothing to do with your physical body. It has everything to do with your emotional resilience, your ability to get back up when life knocks you down is one of your greatest strengths. It is one of the best gifts that you came to bring here to this time and space. And just thank you, pile number 2, for everything that you give to everyone around you without ever saying a word. Your presence is incredibly strengthening for all of those people that you come into contact with. How interesting. So we have the 5 of Wands. Ooh, I'm definitely feeling something there, but let's lay out all your tarot cards and we'll get a full picture here. We have the 2 of Pentacles. Okay. We have the 9 of Pentacles. We have the 3 of Pentacles. So many Pentacles. Yeah, you definitely have a level of mastery in the earth realm that most of the people around you don't. That is very clear already, is that you have a level of wisdom and a level of accomplishing what it is that you desire, of enacting your will in the physical that most people they just don't get it. They think that this must be a superpower that you have access to that they could never possess. And one of the pieces of your soul's work that is very clear is that through working with other people, through possibly competing with other people, you call something out of them that they didn't know was there. Like by being around your strength, a level of strength comes out of them that they hadn't experienced before. And because of that experience with you, they now know themselves to be stronger even after that experience is over. They have access to that new level of strength, again, because of the influence that you had on them. The 6 of Wands, a very successful competitor. So 5 of Wands is like the energy of competition, and 6 of Wands is the energy of winning that competition. So you fight and you win, you fight and you win, you fight and you win. And your winning streak is one of those things that is part of your soul's work. It's like, it's not as much about the layer or the obstacle, it's about how you handle it, how you respond to it, how you create around it. And that winning streak, that streak of these are all of the challenges that I had to solve along the way. There was this, and then there was this, and then there was this, and then there was this. And people around you are listening, going like, how do you just keep going? How do you keep getting back up? And you smile at them and you say, I can teach you. I can teach you that. And there is a whole element to what you're here to do that is like very role model esque, very teacher esque, like mentor esque, where you are here to set an example of what it looks like to keep on going, to dig a little bit deeper and find strength that you didn't have before. That's ultimately what all of these challenges in our lives are for in the first place. And that's something that you've done in past lives. You've used those challenges and transmuted difficulty into new levels of confidence. You've done that many times before. And in this life, I can see very clearly that you're here to teach that skill to other people. You've mastered it, you have this ability, and your part of your soul's work is to mostly share and teach by demonstrating and answering people's questions along the way. There's really not a whole lot that you have to proactively do here. I'm seeing very much that you'll find yourself in these situations, and the people who are meant to hear more from you about your experiences and how you do what you do, they will ask. They will ask you a question. They will be like, how is it that you do this? How do you just keep overcoming challenges? And you will graciously answer their questions. And they will be inspired and in awe and will come to desire that for themselves, right? We can't ever give anybody growth, but we can demonstrate our own growth, and they can witness what it is that we've overcome and what we're now capable of, and they can desire to have that for themselves. So I'm seeing very much that is, you're not necessarily doing it for them at all, but because of the way you live your life and you constantly are overcoming the things that life throws at you, other people are fortified and strengthened by your example. Oh, hello, the King of Pentacles. Perfect, capping off your reading. So again, a mastery in the earth realm that you have achieved already. You have so many gifts from your past lives, and yet this particular journey may prove to be the most challenging journey you've ever lived. And I feel like you have the strength and the resilience to continue on your path. You don't need me to help you do that. But I do want to offer a reflection that every single challenge, every single obstacle that presents itself to you ever is only doing so because the solution is right around the corner. The solution to it, the creative solution, the that's a 20-foot wall and I only have a 10-foot ladder. How am I going to get over that? And you're like, oh, well, maybe I'll invent this piece, and then I can hook this to it, and then I'll lift this, and that'll get me up over the wall. And the creativity that's born through facing these challenges and rising to meet them, and then facing a new challenge and rising to meet it. The creation that happens in the rise is your soul's work. Pile number 2. Gosh, your journey is, it's so, it's such an interesting mix. Like I'm very much drawn to your 2 of Pentacles here, which is, I think, very much in line with your King of Pentacles, where there is such an art to balancing things the way you do. I'm very much hearing that you do not spiritually bypass. You face your feelings. You do not shut them off or try to just, be positive all the time. Like, you understand that there's light and dark, and that in the physical, we're going to have times of both of those. So it's not that when you face a challenge that you don't let yourself be stressed out or like a little bit discouraged by it, like, oh, that's really big. I've never done that before. And there can be moments of self doubt or like, can I really do that? And that is totally natural and normal in life. And that nobody expects you to be 100% of the time Pollyanna, totally positive, like rah rah, we can all do this all the time. Like there are going to be moments of the downs or the discouraged parts where that is a really huge challenge. And I've never climbed that high before, and I don't know if I can. I don't have a safety net. I'm going to try and I'm going to hope for the best. So I'm feeling that you're a very realistic person, that like you've accepted that there are things in this life that you cannot control, and that you've gotten really good through this past life experience and all of the wisdom and skills that you bring with you this time. You've gotten so good at figuring out what are the things that you can control and what are the things that you cannot. And that as you teach people how to be resilient, that is so much of what it is that you're going to be sharing with them, is how to let go of the pieces that are outside of your control, and how to take these challenges or these obstacles as an invitation to rise, not as an insult or a threat that you're doing something wrong or that something has gone wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. Every single layer that you face, every challenge that comes up is the next level of rising into who it is that you're born to be. Pile number 2, thank you so much for clicking on this reading. It has been my pleasure to do it for you. Thank you so much for all of the resilience that you have exhibited so far in your life and that you continue to exhibit. Thank you on behalf of every person who has ever absorbed even one drop of your beautiful energy. Thank you for being here. Pile number 2. If you have enjoyed your reading, please give me a thumbs up down below. Consider leaving me a comment if you'd like to hang out a little bit down below with everybody else who is hanging out on this reading. If your intuition is calling you into one of the other piles, those links are in the description box. And otherwise, I'll catch you on the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So you have made the very bold choice of the Apocolypsis. So this energy right off the bat, man, that's a tough one. That's a bringing to light uncomfortable truths. Truths that have been hidden on purpose for a reason because they are not easy to face. You already, I am seeing that part of your soul's work is to bring those truths back to the light where they can be healed and absorbed into source energy. So kudos on your very brave soul work that you have selected for this lifetime. Let's get the full picture and we'll take it piece by piece. Oh, the Lover. How interesting with Apocolypsis. We'll have to get some more information about what that is about. And the Tear. Okay, I'm starting to see. Thank you. We have the 9th house with exploration. We have, portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards and wild card. Yeah, I'd say so. Apocolypsis, that fits very well. Wild card. We don't know what is going to be born after the old falls apart, but we can be sure that it is something completely different. That, when the phoenix rises from the ashes, it's a new form that was not there before, and that doors are opening in this portal energy. I'm seeing as like kind of your soul's work, that like your soul and the work that you're doing here on the planet at this time is a portal for other people to walk through. Very interesting, pile number 3. So we also have Zebra, which is very cool with like the black and white of this card. There's also a lot of black here, and then the black and white of zebra. Okay, I'm also just like, the black and white is giving me this sense of like that, yeah, I think that is part of what your soul's work is there are a lot of people in this world making questionable choices because they are seeing lots and lots and lots of shades of gray, and they're seeing all of these different complexities that allow them to make some really interesting choices, and that you are somebody that is coming here to put things in terms of black and white, that there is a right and there is a wrong. There is perpetuating light energy and there is perpetuating shadow energy, and you're either doing one or the other. And so, by putting it in such stark terms, there is a lot of truth that needs to be revealed that is currently hiding in those gray areas where people are justifying iffy behavior because of the grayness of the situation. And then you come along and put it in black and white terms, and they're standing there like, oh, well, I guess when you put it like that, I'm really not doing the right thing, am I? And that there's something with this that is telling me like, you don't approach it as black and white as what this would initially appear, that like there is a softness, there is a feminine quality to, like a receptive quality to how you go about navigating, helping people to move through this portal into greater levels of truth. There's definitely a softness in what you do. Pile number 3. So we have the Two of Swords. Okay, so we have a blindfold there. Very interesting. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. We have the Ten of Cups. Awesome. 2 tens. Very interesting. We have the Ten of Wands. Okay, all right. Well, that's 3 tens. Got it. Okay. Okay, so the tens, the 3 tens, feels like a really strong synchronicity here with Apocolypsis, and the regeneration that comes from like a forest fire kind of energy of like massive, rampant destruction on the surface. And yet at the same time, that fire burns away all of the old, and then the new can come to life more clearly through what has been removed. And that I see these tens indicate the end of a cycle. So this truth that is coming to light, that you are here to help bring to light, is causing the end of a cycle. That the earth has been in a cycle for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and that you are here to help bring an end to that cycle. And that not only will you have physical rewards, emotional rewards, you're capable of doing this hard work. Like, not only will you have a really positive experience because of this truth coming to light, but lots of people will. Oh, and you are the pile that has 3 of these tarot cards from the pile picking process. So first we have Page of Swords. So you definitely have a message of some kind to share. You have wisdom of some kind inside of you that is helping to bring this truth to light, that is helping to put things in black and white terms where it's very easy for people to get it, and that is possibly what helps them to move through this portal. It's like when you explain it to them in these simple black and white terms, that they understand. And through that understanding, they are moved into a new place of unknown fortunes. Good fortunes, but unknown. We have the 4 of Swords. That is not a happy camper. Interesting. Okay. And last but not least, we have the 5 of Pentacles. Feeling that over here as well. So I do Yeah, with the general energy of this reading is that you are here to kind of remove the blindfold from people's eyes, if you will, and put things in terms that they will be able to understand. And that as you do this, there's very much love coming from behind it. Like, as far as you're not trying to like force this truth onto people to be mean or malicious at all. Like, there's nothing but love coming from your heart. But at the same time, the things that you are helping to unearth, these truths that are coming to light, are very difficult for people to hear. They're very disturbing or even devastating for people to really take that into their system and to acknowledge the truth that you're revealing. There is a lot of turmoil, a lot of emotional turmoil that is somewhat inevitable as these truths come to light. And that part of your soul's work is to help people to not only see the truth, but to help them move through it in a way that is as easy for them as it possibly can be, right? We can't heal for someone else, but we can be there for them. We can love them. We can hold a safe space where they're allowed to process through what they're feeling and ask questions. We can be there for them. So, this process of disillusionment, of like that you're helping to facilitate, is one that is ultimately going to open up new horizons for a lot of people. With the ninth house and exploration, I'm definitely seeing that that is not just yours. That's not just for you to explore. It's like, as you reveal these truths, as you open up people's eyes and help them to understand what is really going on, that they themselves will have access to new territory to explore that they didn't have access to before when they were sitting there with their blindfold on. I'm also seeing these cards over here are very much like kind of standing apart from everything else. That there's almost like a sense of, I'm in this alone. I have a lot to carry. This is hard. This hurts. I don't know if I can do this. There's like almost this sense of, this is heavier than I can handle. And I do believe that one of the truths that you are unearthing, like as far as this black and white energy that you're boiling things down into, I'm not a follower of the Christian Bible per se, but I do know some phrases out of it, and the one that's coming to me is, God does not give us more than we can handle. And I would interpret it a little bit differently based on my own beliefs. I would say we don't sign up for a path that we're not strong enough to handle. You know, like, I don't think anybody gives us anything. I think we signed up to be here. And the reason that we did that is because, one, we knew how important the work was. We knew how building this structure and helping to take apart this part and help to build the next part, the regeneration of that cycle, we knew how important it was that this work happened at this time. And that if ever there is any self doubt that creeps in, any sense of, this is heavier than I can handle, this is weighing me down, this is a burden, I'm exhausted, I'm depleted, I don't think I can do this, I'm out in the cold, there's nobody supporting me. Pile number 3, I do hope that you will find a safe place here. In the comments down below, connecting with the other people on this channel, there are so many of us that are doing these really, really hard, complex missions on this planet at this time. And as much as we can let other people be there for us, they will be. And that's part of what I'm seeing with this is like, if you let other people help you carry the load, they will. If you allow yourself to take a step back when it feels hard and heavy and burdensome and impossible even, that a little bit of rest can go a long way to put some gas back in your tank and give you the strength to continue to fight this like really, really, really important battle is the word that's coming to me. I mean, I don't think it's anything quite so truly physically violent, but energetically, there are, like we said, there's a lot of people choosing some really, really interesting things because they think, one, that their choice is small and somewhat irrelevant, and you're helping to teach them that that is not actually true, that their choices matter a lot in the grand scheme of things. And that you're also demonstrating by your own ability to accept help from other people that this truth that accepting help doesn't make you weak. If anything, asking for help and letting someone help you is really a sign of strength. It's really a sign of knowing inside of yourself that you are strong, even when you have to be helped by other people to get to where you're going. And if anything, what I'm seeing here is that your journey is so challenging and strenuous that you were never meant to do it alone. That there are people who will help to give you the strength that you need along the way to do this very important work that you're here to do. I'm also feeling that I want just a little bit more information specifically about these cards. I'm going to move them up here and I'm going to take clarification cards for each of them out of this deck. And we're going to see. Can you please give us more information about pile number 3, soul's work, and what is it that they're meant to understand at this time? What is it that pile number 3 is ready to understand at this time? There are 3 cards. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so under the 5 of Pentacles, we have the 8 of Swords. Very interesting. That is already clarifying that. Okay, and under the 4 of Swords, we have the Devil. So interesting. This is so helpful. Okay, cool. And under the 10 of Wands, we have the 4 of Swords again. Okay, so yes, very, very clear. The 5 of Pentacles is typically the energy of feeling stuck. Feeling stuck and by yourself, off on your own, that there's no one to help you. And the 8 of Swords is also about feeling stuck and held back, but that both of these are not ever actually true. That when we feel left out in the cold, 10 times out of 10, don't shoot the messenger, 10 times out of 10, there is a safe haven that we could take advantage of. There is a safe place for us to get in out of the cold. And we can go there anytime we want. That we can feel that we're stuck and we can feel that we're surrounded by threats or negative energy or whatever it is that we feel is holding us back. But it's not. It's not. These ropes, we tied them on ourselves. We close our eyes and blindfold ourselves and tell ourselves that we're stuck and we can't move forward. But if we would drop the ropes, if we would take our blindfold off, we would see that there is no one else here in this picture that is hurting us. We are tormenting ourselves through our thoughts, and that we can choose to get that under control at any time. So there is a piece here of feeling like, why me? Why am I the one with the soul mission? And I want to tell you on behalf of Mother Moon, it's because you could handle it. It's because you had the strength and the skills, and not many people do, and your mission would have already crushed the average person, and you're still here. You have been resilient and you have persevered through a lot. And this next piece of the 4 of Swords, and again, feeling like you're trapped in something, feeling like you're held down or you're being stabbed painfully by something else. If we look at the devil is also feeling like about feeling attached or like tied to something in a way where like this is my ball and chain and I'm powerless against this thing. But the devil is holding these cages with these people in them, and they're in their cages, but the doors are wide open. We're not ever held by a force of anything outside of ourselves. We allow ourselves sometimes to stay stuck. And what I'm hearing more than anything else is that that's not wrong. Being stuck has such a negative connotation around it, but it's not wrong. That there are absolutely times along the path where being stuck or being delayed or going backwards on our path, that's exactly where we're supposed to be. That is the place that has the information, that has the tools, that has the gifts, that has the lessons that we need for our path. So you're never off track, you're never stuck, you're never in a cage that you cannot walk out of at any time. And that part of your soul's work, I'm hearing loud and clear on that note, is that part of your soul's work is that you're here to walk out of those cages. You're here to figure out how to accept that help when you need it most, and how that example is going to translate in the eyes of others, and how inspirational it is to see someone who is very strong and is allowing themselves to be helped along their path. And last but not least, we have the Ten of Wands with the Four of Swords again. And this particular Four of Swords, you can see, is very differently depicted than the first one that you got. In this one, I'm very much hearing that one of the pieces of help that you can accept is from yourself, and that is simply to grant yourself rest. So when you're on your journey and you feel super weighed down, like you're carrying everything, you've even got extra help and they're carrying everything, and you're both so weighed down, it's like sometimes all the help you need is a nap, is to let yourself off the hook for having to continue right this minute, and to sink down into a place of rest where you can recharge your batteries, you can fill your gas tank back up, and that after you've rested, life can look really different. You know, like the path ahead can look really different. When we have a full tank of gas, we're like, oh, look, it goes on all the way over there, and I have a full tank of gas. I can get over there, no problem. But when our gas tank is empty and we know we can't go anywhere, and then we look at how long the road is, that can be incredibly discouraging. So I can see that one of the pieces of your soul's work is to continue to refine that balance between when is it time to push forward on the path, and when is it time to rest and recharge and grant yourself that little cocoon of regeneration within yourselves before you go out into the world and help the entire world with their process of regeneration, like our original Apocolypsis card here. Pile number 3, you have chosen a very, very impressive, very daunting, but a very impressive soul mission. And it was my literal honor and pleasure to get to give you some information that hopefully helps you to feel at least not alone on this long road that you're walking, on this possibly very challenging path that you have in this lifetime. It is my honor that you're here on this channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you did like your reading, please give me a thumbs up down below. Consider subscribing to the channel so you never miss a reading that I upload. If your intuition is guiding you to check out some of the other piles, please do that now. I have no doubt that there's more information for you if that's where you're being guided. And until next time, I will catch you on the next reading. Okay, bye. Hi, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Village, and we see a circle here around the village, and the general idea is that people inside the village don't want you to leave. And once you do leave and then you go back to the village, it looks completely different. So already I'm getting the sense that you're here to walk a path that most people wouldn't walk. Most people coming from where you come from, they would stay where they are, and you have a spirit that is meant to push beyond those boundaries, and that may or may not make for easy relations with the people still in the village where you came from, but that's part of what you're here for, is to go beyond those limits and see where that path takes you. So you are also the pile that got 3 or 4 total of these cards. So let's see what else we have in our pile here to add to this. The Eternal Child. The Mother. How interesting that you have the Eternal Child and the Mother. And the Offering. So let's put this over here. Okay. And see what other oracle cards we have here for you. The 11th house with community. How interesting with the village and community. Those feel very interconnected. I'm definitely also getting a sense here, the 11th house with community. It is to do with the community that you're like born into. But more than that, it is also about kind of leaving behind the status quo version of like what you were born into, in search of your soul family, your soul tribe, the people who truly understand and receive you with joy. I'm hearing like they don't just tolerate you, they celebrate you. And if you're not in a place where you're being celebrated, then it's time to leave the village. It's time to go on out and find your soul tribe. Find the tribe that fits who you are and the magical energy that you are here to bring. Let's see what last couple oracle cards we have here. So we have Loosen Your Grip with Coping Mechanisms, Density, Addiction, and Let God In. How interesting. That is very much showing me, like, I think what the village is and what you came into, and loosen your grip on kind of your history or your family of origin, even for some of you, where it's not always, you know, the blood that matters, it's love that matters. And that if you loosen your grip on the village that you come from, the world that you come from, that there is a much wider, much brighter, much more loving world opening up to you. We have Lizard. Interesting. So I'm seeing you're something of a shapeshifter. You're very capable at blending in with lots of different kinds of people. And because of that, you tend to fit in everywhere you go. You tend to be able to blend in with lots of different groups of people. But again, I'm very much getting the sense it's like, do you want to fit in or do you want to belong? And that this is part of your soul's work as far as what you're here to create. It's like through you making that choice of do you want to fit in or do you want to belong? And then choosing how you want to be. Do you want to change your colors to match every other person that you come into contact with? Or do you want to find your authentic self and find the people who resonate with that? That's a very personal choice for every single person's journey. But with this energy, I'm very much seeing that that is part, that's like at the root of your soul's work, is to determine that for yourself. And that part of your soul's work is this community that you will build as you fall deeper and deeper and deeper into your own truth and loosen your grip on the conditioning, the societal expectations, the cultural expectations, your family's expectations. They may or may not get the soul work that you're here to do, and that's okay. They don't have to get it. But you are in a position where you get to decide, do you want to stay around people who don't get it, or do you want to make space in your world for the people who not only tolerate you, but celebrate you? Let's add your tarot cards to this, and then we'll have our full picture and we can take it a little bit deeper. So first out, we have the King of Cups. Very impressive. Again, I'm getting a lot of wisdom from your energy here. And that, again, as you go between lots of different groups of people, that they would all consider you part of their tribe. They all really enjoy having you around. They consider you to be a very wise person that feels very loving to be around. But again, it's not about what other people tell you you are or where you fit. It's about how you feel. And either your eternal child feels safe, like inside a mother's womb or the mother's nest, like either it feels safe and accepting in a place or it doesn't. If it feels like you have to change your colors in order for it to be safe, that's not a great place for you to be in. And that part of the offering that you're making, part of the soul work that you're here to do, is to craft a life for yourself where you are allowed to stay where your inner child feels safe. Your inner parent, your inner mother, mothers your inner child in a way that says you don't have to tolerate being around people who make you feel unsafe. And that by you choosing your own inner safety and to go where your soul feels most aligned, that is basically the work you're here to do. That, like, that as a contribution to the world is so powerful. Yes, to the people in the village that you leave behind, they will feel your absence and they will have an experience related to that. But also, as you build up your own village, as you discover your own soul tribe, one person at a time, other people will bear witness to the unfolding, to the transition that you've made, and they'll get to see what it's like when you were living the life of a chameleon and blending in everywhere you went, as opposed to standing in your truth, standing in your intuition, and letting the right group of people, not just any group of people, surround you. We also have temperance. So again, a lot of wisdom, a lot of ability to balance yourself in a lot of different situations. And again, I'm very much hearing just because you can doesn't mean you should. And that, again, your soul's work is very much coming down to a very fine touch of discernment. Discernment in where are the right places and people for me to spend my life. And our life, our time, is literally the most precious asset we have. It's our most limited, most finite, most valuable asset is our time. And choosing how you spend your time is one of the pieces that has to do with your soul's work. And the way you choose to spend your time will speak volumes to the people who are observing you without you ever directly saying a word about it. So we have the Knight of Swords. Okay. We have the Magician. We have the Ten of Swords. Very interesting. And the Seven of Wands. Okay. So instantly with this Ten of Wands and the village, what I saw, this particular card shows, I forget her name, but this is her dad and this is the daughter, and he wanted to protect her from what was going on in the village, and so he took her out to sea and kicks her out of the boat, and she tries to come back into the boat and he cuts her fingers off. Like, it's a little gory, don't look at it but too closely, but basically what I'm getting from this is that when you don't leave the village you're not supposed to be in, people will protect you from being there by hurting you and causing you pain and possibly betraying you, possibly emotionally hurting you, or even physically hurting you. And that pain is there as a guiding light to get you out of the village that is not the right place for you to be. And that, again, as you demonstrate what it looks like to bring your inner self into balance and then watch what that creates around you in your outer world, in the community that surrounds you, there is such beauty in the way that you take these painful experiences and transmute them into strength that you share, and then other people who have been through similar things, other people who have overcome similar things, are able to find someone that they truly resonate with because of what you're doing with the pain that you encounter. You're not just taking it and saying, okay, well, I guess I just live a painful life. You're taking it and saying, what can I turn this into? How can I transmute this darkness into light? How can I balance these two elements of suffering and bliss? How can I affect the outcome of this situation by applying my magic, my focused attention onto the situation? What can I do? Taking that power back into yourself to say, what's best for me? What's going to put me in the best position to have the greatest place to do my soul's work in this world? And last but not least, this Seven of Wands, where you have such strength to you and you possess that strength, and that there is almost like a sense of, like, in order to build muscle, you have to lift something that's heavier than what your muscle can do already. And so there's almost like this sense of, again, any challenge that you ever overcome in a community setting or an interpersonal, like, relationship type setting, any of those challenges, you can consider that like the dumbbell that's 5 pounds heavier than where you currently are, right? Like, those challenges with other people and the community around you, those are to help you get even stronger, and that there is such a dynamic with other people that is helping you to do your soul's work in this lifetime. Let's pull out a little bit more information specifically around the offering. I would love to see, what is it that you're offering? And I feel these cards would love to give us some more information about pile number 4's soul's work. What is it that we can know at this time? What are they offering through their soul's work? To who are they offering it to? Yeah, let's see, this one and this one. Let's see what that gives us. Okay. So first out, we have the Queen of Cups. We already had the King of Cups, so now we have the Queen of Cups as part of your offering. Following your intuition, allowing your heart to guide you, allowing your energetic system to be your beacon of truth in this world. Judgment. I love that. Okay, so allowing yourself to be judged, allowing for other people to have whatever opinion of you that they want / need to have, and allowing yourself to stand in your own, like, the light of your own truth. That, like, really coming into your own as far as, like, this eternal child and the mother of loving yourself and letting this light of your own truth be your source of light, and not necessarily needing to ever get that from someone else. Very strong theme here in your life's work, in your soul's work, I should say. The Eight of Cups. So what are you offering? The Eight of Cups. You're offering a demonstration of what it looks like to see how she has her back turned on these cups and she's staring out at a new horizon. She's leaving behind something that doesn't serve her, it doesn't work for her, it's not fulfilling her. She leaves that behind in favor of moving towards a new horizon. And that example of leaving behind the village or whatever it is that's not working for you, even if the leaving behind came through something of a painful experience, that there is such divine timing in the pain that the person caused that helped you to turn around and leave something behind that wasn't serving you to begin with, and to move towards your soul tribe. They're waiting for you. I can feel them. They're so excited to meet you. They will show up into your world one person at a time. Some of these relationships will last for decades, and that they will be closer than any family you've ever had. And that they are very much out there, and that your intuition is guiding you there. Your sense of where your heart is leading you is guiding you to these people, your soul tribe. And the more you turn your back on what doesn't serve you, the more you'll be able to turn towards what is the light, what is the source of love and acceptance and fulfillment in your world. Pile number 4, this has been your reading. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a thumbs up. Also, I would love to hear from you in the comments below as far as, have you found your soul tribe? Have you started to meet these people who feel more like family than any blood relative you've ever had? If so, I would love to hear. If not, I would love to make your acquaintance down below. Maybe we can high five or do a little handshake down below. Nice to meet you. You're always welcome here. You are always welcome on Moon Mirror Tarot. Hopefully you can find possibly even some other soul level friends to connect with through these comments. Definitely reach out. I'm hearing let your freak flag fly, let your weird light shine so your fellow weirdos can find you. And I would love to see that happening down in the comments below if you feel so inclined. Thank you so much, pile number 4. It has been my privilege to do this reading for you. Thank you so much for the work that your soul came here to do in this life. If your intuition is guiding you to any of the other piles, feel free to check those out now. And otherwise, I will catch you on the next reading. Bye.